I swear to God, we'll fight, you know. We'll fight on air, bro.
Yes, guys. Back again for another episode.
Come on.
We're back again, guys. How you guys doing?
I'm blessed, man. I'm blessed.
I am blessed.
Yeah. So we're back with another one, and the next topic that the people want to see is called best revision techniques. The best revision techniques for students. Now, this is fantastic because this will help. This is really good for teachers, parents as well, and students to see. But we're going to give them the best ideas to hopefully get the best results.
Yes.
I think one thing, especially that worked for me, is past papers. You know what I mean? With that, you know what you get right and you know where you struggle.
Question formatting as well.
Exactly, yeah. So it gives you that mindset of, okay, how are the questions going to be displayed to me? How can I tackle each question? You know what I mean? It also helps you with my strengths and weaknesses. So once you know that, I don't know, let's take maths, and you're rubbish with like area or perimeter, you know that when there's time to revise, you have.
When do you do papers then?
For me, do you know what I like to do? I like to do it at the beginning of my revision. Like if I'm going to do 6 months of revising, month 1, I'll do it just to see where I am at.
So let's say the exams are in July, June, July. Let's say June, they start around, well, May, but let's say June. How far back do you go to start revising?
Year 10.
Yeah.
So we're talking 2 years.
Yeah, 2 years.
Yeah. That's
Okay.
makes
So
sense.
revision would start 2 years. That's absolutely makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Because to have a structured program and to do it properly, you got to start early.
It's true.
Facts.
Okay.
Facts.
So year 10, let's say 2 years before the exams, right? When the GCSE start.
Yeah.
I think that's fantastic. Would you do your paper? When would you start doing papers though?
January of year 10, just to get them used to it. Just to get them used to it.
So a good year and a half before the exams.
Yeah, because you can get exam jitters. You can
you
you get brain fog. You forget everything.
Yeah.
So and it will also help the teacher to see where the kid's thinking at. It also what I like to do is I prepare them for the exam.
Yeah.
Because the knowledge is always there.
Yeah.
They have the knowledge, but sometimes when you come across a tricky question, the way they word it, you won't understand what they want.
Yes.
And a lot of them will be like, "Oh, I don't know what to do." I'll be like, "No, you do.
Yeah.
You just need to read what they want from you."
Transferring the information from their head to the page. Yeah.
When I'm tutoring a lot of kids, when I do a lot of like papers with them, a lot of them be like, "Oh, I don't know what you're doing." So I'm like, "No, you have done. You knew even just today." I said, "You know what you're doing." I said, "What do they want from you?" So pinpoint, underline the words. What is it that they're asking you? You know what I mean? And then
we have a problem with students is that understanding the language of exam papers.
Comprehension is very
Yeah. So there's a strong link obviously with English with this, because if you don't understand the question, you're not going to answer it properly, even though you might know what it is. You know, like you might know the theory, but you don't know how to understand it because of the way it's worded. So I totally agree with you. I think it's very important to get accustomed to how papers are worded and also get accustomed to the atmosphere of an exam.
Yes.
And the atmosphere of exam is crucial because you don't want to be put into an exam hall and just feel like, look around and see how the tables and chairs are. And you're like, boy, I'm nervous.
Yeah.
You want to get through that nervous by getting them to get used to the environment.
Yeah.
So you'll actually, it might be in a school where you've got a hall and you just say, look, let's go to the hall at lunchtime or after school or during lesson because it's empty sometimes.
Yeah.
Let's get the tables out and let's sit down and let's do a paper.
Facts.
Yeah.
Cool.
Iron out.
Do you know what? There's something that before I even give my point, there's something that you said which I liked, about underlining the question and under the key points of the question. Do you know what, right? I'm gonna patent this name, question doodle. You know how from years like in key stage 3 we always tell them, oh, don't draw on your books. Don't doodle on your pages.
Yeah.
Like, bro, do that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Do it. But do it in a way where it's constructive. So like, you know what? Underline that section of the question, please. And they're gonna be like, why? The reason why is If we start that from year 7, it's just gonna be normality come year 10. Do you know what I mean? I think all kids, right, when they take their exam, they should be bringing in highlighters, highlight the question, underline it. That the actual exam paper, make it look mad colourful. Mad colourful.
That's a good one. I mean, what other problems do you find with the way students what are the problems with bad revision? Tell me what the problems are. What are the problems? Not revising enough in time. That's one. Time. Not giving yourself enough revision time.
Yeah.
What else?
The
structure.
But before I say that, it's like, you know, some people we hear like these myths of how to revise with music and stuff like that. That's one thing I'll always stand by. Do not revise with music, because when you're in that exam hall and all you hear is you just remember Kanye West.
Yeah.
You're finished. You know what I mean? Like, your life is done.
Remember the lyrics.
You remember the lyrics, but you
won't remember what
exactly. So I always say,
and
I don't know, it might be a personal thing, I'm not sure, but
do you know a lot of students do revise with music on, with headphones, like at home.
Yeah,
because that's the thing with parents as well. Parents sometimes need to know, and this is why I say this is for parents, teachers, and students, is that when the child is revising at home, it's very important for the parent just to keep an eye on how they revise. And I'll talk about the timetable thing at home, you know, like later. But you touched on music, so don't let them. They can listen to music after they finish revising.
Exactly. Yeah.
Why are they listening to it while they're doing the work?
But you know what? I'm gonna touch on both of you, because this is my point now. Yeah. Understand your learning. Like, if you're an audio learner, to have music on is actually really good for you, because you apply. But not music with words, instrumentals. Yeah. Because what you do is you apply the beat to the words on the page.
Do how you learn.
Exactly. Do how you learn. Now, if you're an audio learner. If you're a visual learner now, you need pictures. You need videos.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? If you're a kinesthetic learner, you need something in your hands. You need to be like basically turning the words into something more practical. Do you know what I'm saying to you? If you're, you know, if you're a learner just through words, then just read. Read as much as possible. Do you know what I'm saying to you? But this is what we don't tell the kids. We give them that one format. You must revise this way. Like, 4 people with different learning abilities cannot revise one way. You might get a maximum of 2 kids that might learn that way. The other 2, they're lost. So students need to understand how they learn, right? Now, parents must also understand how their child learns. You cannot just throw a child a revision book and be like, go to your bedroom and revise. First of all, they ain't revising in their bedroom. Like, let's be serious. When they got all PlayStation and tablet and mobile phone, do you know what I'm saying to you? You think they're revising in their bedroom? Get out. Right? So definitely, as parents, you need to be there with your child. It's morally upgrading for the child. And even if you don't understand what the child is doing, ask them questions. Yeah. Because they will learn from the questions you ask, right? Very true. And they won't even think, oh, my parent is done whatever, like my mom or dad is done whatever. They're going to be like, oh, my mom's testing me, man. Like, I need to fix up loud. You know, they're going to ask me a question every now and again. Exactly, So it boosts them. Right, but also as a parent, like, you can see how your child is learning, and you're kind of monitoring how it's going. Exactly, you're monitoring how it's going. It's 100%. So I think knowing how you learn, and that should start from year 7. All schools need to, you know, like PHS that early, 100%. Like PHS, like imagine if you, as a year 7, right, by the end of year 7, you understood that you're an audio learner. Come year 8 now. You start implementing so from audio year 7, strategies. You're saying understand how you learn from year 7. Right, the individual, understand how you learn. Then from year 8, you start implementing those strategies. Yeah, you're going to mess up a little bit or whatever have you, but you know, that's all part of year 8, like learning and understanding and applying. Like you were saying, kids have the knowledge but don't know how to transfer it to the paper. Right? Come year 9, when you start picking your options now, you're applying your learning to your options. Yeah. By year 10, I wouldn't even need a teacher. Do you know what I mean? Just email me the work. I got you. You're ready. You're ready. Do you know what I mean? I got you. Yeah, that's right. Email me the work. Tell me the due date. Exactly. I'm nice. Sorted. Do you know what I'm saying to you? That's it. That's how it should be. Because then you don't get these systematic conveyor belt children. Yeah. You get kids that understand themselves. They understand themselves. And from the time a student can understand themselves, they've won. It's like, they've won. Once a kid knows their strengths, they'll do much more better. It's like, it's game over. Telling the fish to climb a tree, they will always feel stupid. They'll always feel like a failure. I feel like that's what the main structure of school does to a lot of kids. Like when you talk to them, I'm in the bottom set, I'm in the thing. So they already have that mindset of, I'm dumb, I can't do it. I'm not, you know what I mean? But instead of saying, no, you're just this type of learner, that's why you're here, that would be much more better. If the sets were actually put in, like, the idea. In learning groups, imagine.
Yeah.
Imagine.
Okay.
If I know I'm getting, I don't know, MUS3. Okay, that's this class. And they're more visually impaired. Okay, I'll be like, oh, I say visually impaired, you know. They're more of the
visual learners, man. Visually impaired, you know. No, but you know what? That's also good for the teacher, because then you can plan your lessons as audio lessons or as visual lessons, and it makes it so much easier.
So much easier for that class, yeah.
That's so much easier.
It's true. It's
like
true.
literally, you've just got the same sort of like core package. Like, you know, like for example, like DT, like I know I'm going to teach timbers, right? But if I've got kinesthetic learners, we're making all day, every day.
Exactly, yeah.
We're making all day, every day. I'm going to teach you everything you know about timbers, but making. If I just got audio ones, cool, bam. It's videos.
That's it.
It's podcasts.
That's it.
Do you know what I'm saying to you?
True. That's true.
Yeah.
Right? But they all get the same information, just different ways.
Yeah.
Oh, that'll be perfect.
That they prefer.
I think the other thing is very important. I think is, you know, like students, obviously they have their targets. All the students know what they should be achieving. You know, by the end of a year, they know like what they should be getting, and sometimes they can lack confidence, because if they don't feel like they are going to achieve, or they're targeted, or they should be on track to achieve a good grade, they kind of lose a bit of confidence. And they get demoralized. So my thing is as well, this is like more towards the teachers, is that always have in mind that students can achieve beyond any target, and not even have a number linked to a student. So when I teach, I always say, look, you can get the highest mark possible because you can. Because it's possible. So let's go for it. Let's go for that. And then what that does is it makes the student also think, yes, I can do this. Actually, I can get the top grade. Why not? And then what I'll do is I'll implement and build the system of how to revise around that.
Okay.
And don't forget, you know, with regards to revision, the format for the exam is the paper. There is no other format. It's the paper, right? So I 100% agree that earlier on you should be practicing papers a lot, because that is the format, essentially. But around it, to build up all these different ways that will incorporate, as you touched on, those learning ways, like the visual and all that, and things like all the apps and like Seneca, whatever it is, all those different
GCSE pod,
GCSE pod, those websites. Build it in to make it interesting as well, because you can't just be reading the same format all the time. That's just boring.
Exactly.
Boring.
And then and so that, what I would call that is, I'll call that a layer one, like the papers, because that's the format that's going to be the main concept, and then around it build in the other resources.
Do you know what else I think as well, right? And I think this is seriously important. There is a disconnection with students. There is a disconnection between subject revision and life experience.
Okay.
There's a disconnection. I think in year 10, me personally, maybe even year 9, once they've picked their choices and you know, right, this kid is going to do like business and rare and whatever have you, right? Implement trips. Implement school trips. Like, if I'm going to pick music, right? If I'm going to pick music, why am I not, and I've picked drama as well. Why am I not going to see a musical?
Exactly.
Why have I never been to the theatre? Why have I never been to the opera house?
Now I'll tell you one thing. It's like, especially, it depends on what type of head teacher you have, and depends on what type of school you go to, but they hate that sort of stuff. I've never understood that.
The thing is, trips are about like a book of paperwork just to get a trip going anyway.
Yeah, true. But the thing is, though, again, this is where it comes with like data and things like that. I understand like the safeguarding, and you don't want to take 30 kids on the train and come back with 5. Like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, I get all of that. Like, no one's disputing that. But what people need to understand is that it's all well and good you learning from books, but once you've passed or not passed your GCSEs and you go out into the real world, right? The books aren't teaching you about the real world.
We forget that sometimes.
But that school trip to the design museum, that school trip to a concert, that school trip to a theatre, that school trip to an art museum or whatever, that will stay in that child's mind,
of course,
for a long time.
It'll never be forgotten.
Yeah, never.
Do you know what I mean? Like, certain schools go to like the Cadbury's factory, and you see how for food tech, and you see how chocolate is being made.
That'll
and
be sick.
Like,
yeah, that's
do you know what I'm
amazing.
saying? Bro, I even read in the paper once, they asked primary school kids, they asked them where the eggs come from. So where the eggs come from? Bro, 60% of the kids said like Tesco,
Lord,
Sainsbury's, Asda.
God,
I'm like, that's where eggs come from.
Wow.
Tesco.
That's
It's mad.
crazy.
Right. So
That's
so that's 60% of kids, right? Yeah. I can guarantee you at least 50% of them never went to a farm in their life.
exactly.
That's true.
Or
That
their,
is true.
their idea of animals is pictures in books.
See, this is how vegans are born, man. Because you like them, and
Hey,
then
listen, stop that. I like my vegetables, you know.
So listen, coming back to the revision tips, yeah. This is for me a big one and an important one for the students and for the parents to help them with is to create a home timetable,
yeah,
a structured timetable. You got a school timetable, you need a home timetable, a revision timetable. So link two subjects together, might be maths and science on a Monday, and it might be 40 minutes each. And within that lesson, actually break it down. So I would say do a paper or a few questions, and then maybe watch a YouTube video on it. Maybe do a Seneca website, apps. So actually within the revision, touch on the different ways of learning, audio, visual, kinesthetic, as much as possible.
Yeah.
And that all, and early as well.
Yeah.
Like early, not like 2 months before the exam. We're talking 2 years back.
Yeah.
Structured timetable after home. After school.
yeah,
Yeah.
Also, like, if a child is going to revise at home, because remember, every child's home life is very different.
very different.
Some children are coming
Yeah.
home into violence,
Yeah,
into madness. So technically, the bedroom might be their safe space.
yeah,
Do you know what I mean? Like, obviously, I don't know for sure, but let's say in this example, the bedroom is their safe space, right? Allow that child to create the working environment to put the calendar in there. So maybe, have a little desk at the end of the bed, and that's like that little corner of the room is their workspace.
yeah,
Do you know what I mean? Their office.
yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying to you? So that, they wake up, they go into their office, they do their work. It makes them feel important.
Yeah, yeah,
It boosts all the endorphins and everything else. It makes them feel a little bit more valued because they've
Switches.
created an environment that
Exactly.
is for them.
The atmosphere of learning is very,
Right,
That's
exactly.
good. Yeah, that's true.
exactly. And let them have the calendar big on the wall. Big on the wall. Let them have like a little like mood board of things they need to do today. And
Yeah.
do you know what I'm saying?
Let
to
them
you?
own it.
Let them own their space.
Exactly.
And they can make it how they want. If you want to put pictures of all like pop stars and this, that, on, like, do that.
Because revision shouldn't be a negative thing.
Not
it
at
shouldn't be
all.
a stress, or
Yeah.
it shouldn't be a stress thing.
Stress free.
Because if you own it,
yeah,
then it will become more enjoyable.
yeah.
Exactly.
Because I have a teacher friend that said that for year 11s, they take like one day after school for an hour that everyone has to come, and like the head of year will hunt them down to try and everything. I said, oh, that's a good idea, but then I think because you have to do it, it turned revision into something negative.
Yeah.
Where a lot of kids are like, by the time it hit November, they lost interest. You know what I mean? You have to do it in a way that it works for you.
Yeah, I
Yes.
agree.
It's true.
Yeah.
If you allow the child to create their own space, they will work
That's it.
harder.
Yeah.
The thing is, it's like that as it gets towards the exams, it's like a frenzy. It's like it's like everyone's like stressed. Like everyone is stressed.
Everyone.
Teachers, students, everyone is stressed. So what I'm saying is, if you pull back time and you start early and you got a structure at home, you're not going to be stressed because you'll be ready mentally, because you'll be preparing students to be mentally ready as well.
Yep.
That's my thing.
Yeah.
Yep.
So okay, let's kind of wrap it up a little bit with some top tips for revision. What would you say?
Number one, know your learning style.
Know your learning style.
Yeah.
What
That's
is the
number
best way
one.
that you learn?
That's
Is it reading? Is it visual? What is it? Know your style and focus on that style.
Exactly.
You can do, obviously, do other ways because it's important.
Actually, I remember there's one, I forgot where I heard this from, but like you said, we all have a style that we prefer. But we can actually learn all four styles.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Oh,
But it's just
100%.
that we prefer to do something.
Yeah.
Like for me, the only reason I passed my driving is because I physically did it, and then when it came to my theory, I understood what they were talking about.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
Yeah,
my
yeah.
friend, he's the other way around. He's completely 180 to me. Like he doesn't, like he can't do it practically until he knows the theory behind it.
Theory
Yeah,
behind
exactly.
it, yeah,
But you
yeah.
still have to do the other ways anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But like you said,
100%.
But this is what I'm saying to you. In year 7, if you start to, you start to do a bit of audio visual and you start to know your style. But because you've tried everything else, you can, dip into that pot, into the other pot. Do you know what I'm saying? Come year 10, you're laughing.
Yeah, and the thing is, if you're also preparing the way you revise early, like I said, because if you do it in year 7, by the time you're in year 11, it's like second nature.
Yep.
And it's like anything. If you learn something early, and revision is such a vital thing that is forgotten about till the end, right till almost the exams, it should be earlier on. I 100% agree.
Exactly.
I would say give yourself time. Time is a valuable thing. You don't get time back
at all.
Give yourself time. Like cramming, it don't work.
No.
It don't work.
You're finished.
It don't work.
That's too much.
Especially when you get 2 exams on one day. Really? Are you sure about that?
Yeah. And then no sleep.
Do you know what I mean?
Like cramming and there's no sleep, and all you're doing is like you're half asleep, like looking at the paper and it's blurring, and your eyes are blurring. And
exactly.
It's not working.
It's not good at all.
It's not a good look.
No.
Not at all.
I would say definitely plenty of sleep and eat breakfast.
That one.
Eat breakfast.
Yeah,
I ain't even saying it because I'm fat.
Have
Eat
your
breakfast.
3-4 Weetabix.
3-4 weeks of it. Bruv, it's full with brown sugar and a bit of honey with some fruits. Blueberries, strawberries.
Listen, I'm telling you, that's so important.
Oat milk, you know what I mean?
listen,
oat milk.
Overnight oats.
That's the...
Bro, you don't even have to... Bro, you can wake up 5 minutes before school and still eat breakfast.
Slow release of energy, that's what you need.
Overnight oats.
Oats.
Yeah.
They're the ones.
Oats, yeah.
That's what I survive on in the morning. Man.
So the tips for the days before, forget, like, the revision should be done then.
Yeah.
The day before you should be relaxed, not even revising,
not
to
at
be
all.
honest. You don't need to. You're done. But sleep early, eat properly, have some breakfast and, nourishment. And,
prep yourself the day before. So, like, what needs to be in your pencil case, this, that, and the other. And because you've got the calendar, you know what exams are coming up. So if you know that first day is a maths calculator exam, there's no excuse for you to come in with no calculator. There's no excuse. Do you know what I mean? Because you've got your calendar there. You've been revising for how many years? Right? I would say even the week before exams should be a week of just clearing your mental headspace.
Do you know what it is? I actually want to break this down in 3 ways. I want tips for teachers for revision, tips for students, and tips for parents. Right? I want to give tips for parents first. So, as you said, be part of the journey for revision with the student. Be part of it. Actually help them. Because look, students learn in school with their teacher to how to revise and what to revise, and but at home they have nobody. They're on their own in the room. But if you're part of that and you help them and ask them questions, not only will you give them confidence, you'll empower them, but you'll also be able to see how they're doing. And then you'll be able to also have an idea of other things that could help them. But be part of the journey as well as parents, in terms of see what things will help them revise better, like some apps, websites. So you could ask the teacher, what are the good websites out there that will supplement and help the student, and be part of that. Like, parents can email the teachers and they'll be happy to help.
Exactly.
So that would be my kind of tips for parents. Anything for students or teachers would you give as tips? Other things? I think you touched on some.
For the students, I'm going to reiterate the one I said before. Create your own working space at home.
Yes.
Like, whatever room it needs to be in. Do you know what I mean?
Own that space.
Own that space. Obviously, don't be setting up shop in the bathroom and that. Man's on the toilet with it.
Get out. You know what I mean?
Man's on the toilet with the desk, like, all 3 hours later. Parents in the corner crying because they need to go to the toilet. But like real talk, like, set your environment, create your workspace. I would even go as far as to say, like, with parents and students combined, like, on the holidays, for example, like, make them wake up as if they're going to work. Do you know what I mean? Make them wait, like, it's 9 o'clock, you're late for work. What? So they get up, shower, breakfast, then they go back into their bedroom, into their office, into their workspace. Do you know what I mean?
Treat it like it's a work.
And then they can touch base with the parents at some point as well.
Exactly. I would even go as far as for the parents to be kind of like a manager. Like, I need to get that paper by 3:00.
Yeah. Let's mark it together.
Like, you know what's going
Let's
on. You know,
exactly.
sit down, we mark it together. Oh, do you know what? Performance was 10-10 today. Like,
That's it.
do you know? Take the day off.
That's
do you know what I'm saying to you? Leave early. Like, do you know what I mean?
It's true.
Bro, and plus they're also getting an understanding as to what the world of work is like as well.
Because we sometimes forget that we're trying to prepare them for the outside world.
Right.
But what most exams does is like what a lot of people just fixate the energy on is the exam. You know what I mean? So that's a good point that you like the working world we're trying to get them ready for.
Man.
And other things for the students is obviously this is the teachers, is I would say start the revision program very early.
I would say that. Give
Don't
them
leave
time.
it last minute, you know? Like start early. And you know what? Do it in a way that you're gonna help the learners learn visually, audio ways. Like if you hit all of those things, then you're gonna hit most of the learners anyway.
Of course.
You know? So one day you're working on a website, Seneca, and doing a few things. Another day you're sitting on a paper. And then also take the students into the environment. Take them to the hall. Take them somewhere where they're actually, like by the time it's the real exam, they're not nervous at all. They're like looking around thinking, yeah, I got this.
Because they know the space.
I know this. I
They
got
know-
this.
Yeah, man, 100%.
Know your space.
100%.
You know?
That's it.
Anything else?
Boy, go on, big man.
I feel like, you took all the good ones. But
I think we wrapped it up. Really.
that's it.
I think we hit a lot.
Yeah, on nail head.
So, guys, I'm gonna wrap up this episode. Thank you so much again for your inputs.
Yes.
That was a fantastic one. I hope you guys also benefited from this. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Don't forget, though, please, as usual, hit the like, subscribe, smash that notification bell, and I'll see you on the next one. Thank you.
Come on.